John Alexander.
Here.
Tom Baldwin.
Here.
Hillary Barton. Here. Lucas Singer.
Here. All right, we need to approve the March minutes. So we need a first and second.
I move for approval, as written.
I'll second.
All right,
Aye.
all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, let's do some board reports. Tom, do you have something to say?
On the minutes?
No,
Oh, on
board
on
reports.
the
You gotta-
reports?
Yeah, just,
Excuse me, I've
I'm
been
sure
doing
you
something
do.
else today. I'm a little behind. Basically, what I hear every time if I stop around is that we need more parking, and particularly for boat trailers. And this past, since we met last time, twice when I went by the 520 park, if you will, they actually were trailers almost all the way to the end, but in between were just cars. And we've got to get some signage up there or something
We're going to talk about that coming up.
to help out, because they do use it, and the same goes with 4th Street
Yep.
ramp.
Excellent. John?
Do we have any mulch yet?
You want me to talk now or after?
Well, I asked the question.
I'm going to be in touch with you next week. I spoke to George today. Mulch is coming in next week.
Okay,
So,
we can schedule it.
and we have paint. So we're going to have a
It's for the
meeting
parks.
and get things started.
Good.
On, especially ramp, because they're
Okay.
going to do some tree cutting. You
Okay.
know, remember, they needed some tree cutting at
Okay.
not ramp, what's the one? Cocoa Isles.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So we have,
Need to take some of that. break.
yeah, so they're gonna start that next week, and also the mulch is coming in next week also.
Okay, good.
So we need to get together
We'll get together.
and get your troops
Your
together.
people talk to my people, but-
Yes, yes.
And other than that, I have heard nothing else on any problems at any of the parks. I don't know if any of you have, but it seems going well.
Good. Okay, Lucas?
Just a few things that I've noticed was, again, for some reason, I think I'm a sign guy, but the Sidney Fisher Park sign, just kind of, looks a little old to me.
Yeah.
Looks a little decrepit.
Yes.
Come driving northbound, obviously you don't see the actual name on there anymore, that's worn off.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know, LED signs are probably pretty costly, but maybe that's something that you guys can look at in
Yes,
some of your
it is,
five-year
it is being looked at.
forecasting.
It is being looked at. I've heard talk going about it. Yes,
Yeah, very good.
that is something, yes.
It's Cocoa Beach obviously is a really cool city, maybe, having some cool signs. I see this here, I think that might be something along those lines as well. But the other thing that I wanted to bring up was the old soccer fields behind the elementary school. Basically, the question is for a new resident or someone that hasn't been here for a while, what is that being used for? Because obviously it's not soccer at the moment, and I'm sure back prior to fencing in the schools, you would drive behind the school, park there, walk to those fields, be able to use them or whatever. Now, looks like you kind of got to weasel your way through the skate park and the ball fields to get back there, and then do what? So maybe what is it that we're looking at doing with that? I mean, that's a huge piece of land.
It is used by the school for all their
It's
activities.
school, that's all school property.
Right, it's all school property, and right now, during the school year, that's who uses it, the
Okay.
school. Yeah, for all the activities, all the different
classes.
sports.
Gym
Gym classes,
that
yeah,
whole section in
everything.
the back there?
Yeah.
I mean, is that city, that's not city?
We do have a lease with them, but during the school year, they get first priority, and during the
Right.
school year, they use it. Yes, it's being used by the school. Yeah.
I was just wondering if there's something that,
Yeah.
in the future, that can be more utilized with the,
Well, in the summertime, yeah, we can
parks.
utilize it in the summertime.
Right.
But it's hard during the school year because the school,
well, right.
they have a lot of activity, they don't have enough fields. Like they have one stadium, so a lot of their practices and the gym classes are all
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there. Yeah.
And I did see basketball hoops being put up at Ramp Road and then
Barclay,
Barclay?
yes.
Okay.
Cameron Barclay, yeah.
I'd like to see a full court, but
It would-
half court at the moment.
It'd be a battle.
is just
It'll be a
fine.
battle between pickleball, tennis
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get that done.
Yeah, so very good. My neighborhood, my neighbors, they all shoot me a little, what's going on type of thing. So I think everything's going fairly well.
Yeah, Lucas, there's actually some history to that, and those
Behind
ball-
the school?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was 8 years ago, we were working with the TDC to get funds to redo that whole area. But we had to do it with with the okay from the school board and not the school board, but the school district. We didn't get as high as the school board. And we were working with AAU and some other groups about softball and soccer and lots of different things to different groups, and bringing those folks to the city and how that would impact the entire city, hotels and restaurants and everything, right? And unfortunately, it fell through for various reasons, but it's certainly been looked at. It needs to be brought up again.
Okay.
And we need to.
I agree.
We got close.
We did.
We got
It was.
close. We had
It-
drawings and everything,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, bam.
Yeah,
Gone. Yep.
from my perspective, it had more to do with the school folks kind of nixed it. And, yeah, so anyhow,
Yeah, it's just a big piece of land that you
Yeah.
think it could use a lot of,
Yeah.
it's totally wasted.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well, we'll keep bringing it up.
yeah. Hillary?
I think to add on to that, because I think the last meeting, we had talked about possible like skate park expansion, and you had talked to the school board about possibly using some of said land.
Yes.
But what was the verdict?
We had spoken to the school board, and they have said that we could use where the skate park is right now, back behind Roosevelt. If we wanted to expand, that's where we could use. So they wanted us to go out and get more information, and we haven't had chance. Public Works and myself, we're going to take a drive to some other dirt tracks to check it out, but we haven't had time to get to that as yet.
Okay.
Because we have to travel and see probably Orlando somewhere to look at some other tracks to see what it took to make those tracks.
Okay.
But they said we could probably expand towards Roosevelt behind the skate park area. Yes.
Okay, to build on that, so the skate park, there's a lot of little things going on there. You have looking at a replacement for the current person that's in the skate shop.
Yep.
That I think there's some complaint there, but now we're looking for a replacement, so that's going on. The bid to repair is currently waiting on a signature for the scope.
Waiting for Byron Evans, who is he is giving us the scope of work in order to work to do the repairs. And so we have one that already submitted a bid, and we have a possible other one that's waiting for Byron to give us a scope before they submit their bid. So we have some movements.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that includes a mini ramp in that bid. So then the other thing was the skate park. So so it's just kind of the same complaints that I'm getting from there. It's just like
Yeah.
nothing's happening. The coping is
Yes.
being torn up in places and things like that. So just kind of keep monitoring that and pushing for that and
Yep.
keep in touch about that. The aquatic center I checked in on, they are currently, as you can see out there, they have construction going on
Yeah.
for repairs there.
Yes.
They currently have no complaints as far as, because things are happening over there for them.
They shouldn't
for repairs
complain.
and
They're
stuff.
getting everything right now.
They're trying to stay open through those
Yeah.
repairs. The slide was the one thing that they were trying to get fixed, and today, did you find out if they didn't?
It wasn't installed.
show up 'cause of the
No,
rain.
so it should be by this week. It should be installed. Yes.
That would be good for the kids getting out of school this week.
Yeah.
I went to USTA. Their only complaints over there were really of just having like the maintenance of the facility. There was landscaping that was going by the wayside, and I think that with all of the facilities, that's the general complaint. There was lights that were out. There was soffits that were missing. They had to remove a dead animal, but they didn't replace the soffits, so they're worried about another dead animal an animal getting in there and dying. There's black mold in the building. He was like, it's here and here.
Oh, that's not good.
So that's not good. So I guess I talked to Larry about that. He said that Public Works will, they're trying to get that resolved over there. But yeah, so skate park's probably the biggest issue, and but things are moving in a direction, just not in a
Yes.
quick fashion. So that's all I have.
Okay. I would talk about the golf course and all, but we have a golf task force that's together, and Our next meeting is
31st?
next
Next
Wednesday.
Wednesday, 31st. That's the 31st?
I don't know that, I think that'll be our third meeting, but I'm assuming we're gonna go beyond that.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
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 So, pay attention to that board. It's a lot of stuff happening there. With that, I don't have really anything else. I haven't been playing golf personally because of my neck, but, hopefully, I may play tomorrow. I'm feeling good today.
I wish I
Maybe
could say
tomorrow.
that. I wish I could say that.
Yeah.
It's gonna rain tomorrow.
Is it gonna rain tomorrow?
No, it'll rain.
It's supposed to rain all week, all week.
All right.
Yeah, it's going
Well,
up and up. Yep.
All right.
Oh,
Uh,
sorry.
go ahead.
I'm gonna
Get some
add
else.
one thing to the skate park. On a positive note, they started a community night over there on Wednesday nights, so it sounds like it's pretty successful and everything. And so, if anybody wants to come out and support it on community night, I'm gonna try to get over there this Wednesday and just see how everything's going. But it sounds like it's pretty popular,
Good.
so it's doing good.
Okay. With that, we'll just jump into public comment. If anyone has something to say, and you want to come up and speak.
Wayne's got a presentation. Let's do public first.
Yeah.
Wayne can come in. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, when you go up, please just tell us your name and where you're from, and that way we can get that on the record.
Jesse Hunter, I'm a Cocoa Beach resident at 205 North 2nd Street, as well as co-business owner of Drift House in Cocoa Beach as well. I just wanted to come to ask a couple more questions about the skate park. I've heard also issues in regards to the current people that are staying there running the shop part, not Mike and his stuff, but like what's going on with that? Is he hired by the city? With, what's going on
It's
with
a private contractor, but we're working to change that up now.
Okay. And
We're
are you
bringing
guys,
somebody new in.
what's that?
We're bringing somebody new in.
Okay. You already have somebody?
No, I have two people I have to meet with tomorrow.
Okay.
Two different groups that I'm meeting with tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And the other thing last week, the last time that I was here in regards to the skate park, there was like questions in regards to like how many skaters that we actually have in this community. We've been serving the Brevard County community for almost 8 years this year, Cocoa Beach for 4 years. And just in regards to like skateboarders, in regards to how many skateboarders that we interact with on an annual basis, just with skateboard sales in general, we sold close to 500 skateboards just within our own store last year, let alone all of the other skate shops that are around the Brevard community. So there is a very big community base when it comes to the skateboarders in this area. We have a lot of pro skateboarders that have come from this area as well. So I do think that this is an important piece of Cocoa Beach with the skate park. And I'd like to hear that, we're looking at expanding. And for me and my business partner, Shane Dean, if there's any way that we can help or bring more awareness, raise money, anything like that we can do to help out in regards to the Cocoa Beach skate park, we're all here for you guys as well as the city.
Are you interested in running it too?
I'd definitely be open to the conversation, yeah.
Give me a call.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
My name is Fred Boynton, Cocoa Beach, Oak Avenue. I'm avid tennis player. I ran a club in Rockledge for 7 years, worked at Kiwi Club for 2 years, and my concern is what is going on over there with the tennis courts. And it was inspired by we have a family teaching down at Ramp Road, and taking money from people. I think they're certified pros, except for maybe the father, but there's not much Laird can do about it. I do know, I have heard that they want to submit a bid to take over the courts. So I was asked and prodded a little bit by some of our tennis playing members, and we don't have memberships anymore, but that knowing USTA is certainly going to be bidding again, and I know you have to take 2 bids, but we could be a lot busier over there. They don't give John a lot of support. They've been trying to hire an assistant pro for a long time for $14 an hour. Players from out of town come looking for somebody to rally with or hit. Lately, a couple high-level juniors would come in, and Lori and John gave them my name, and I was able to actually hit with both of them, but I'm not, and I referred 2 of those youngsters on the Kiwi Club to their elite group. But when the fences were torn down between the front and back courts, the windscreens were taken down. They were on the ground by the trash cans for months and months. We've got a drainage problem out back where the foot bath by the clay courts. And I mean, Tom Veal's a player, a great guy. He's out there raking those courts all the time. Susie Contos is out there digging a ditch last week because the clay gets clumpy right around that bath. But I can't tell you how much trash I pick up over there every time I'm out there. And the other players know it. The other thing is when they built the back courts, they put in lines for junior tennis tournaments, which we almost never have, and instead of pickleball, which is taking off everywhere. I know virtually every public facility in this county except for Singleton, and they're all a lot busier than we are. And I've seen the USTA's contract. It's a pretty sweet deal. You know, I know local pros that need courts. They could come in and sublet. They could grow this. I like our pro over there, John, but again, he's just, I think he's kind of hamstrung by the USTA, and I've heard that they're talking about bringing in $200 grand. I mean, what are they going to do with that? You know, the canopies were put up out back wrong, torn back down. You know, where was Public Works every day? Where was everybody when that all happened? You know, after the fact, I know Laird and Andy went down to Kiwi and looked at the spacing for risk management, but again, it just seems like there's just little attention being paid out there. It's a nice place, and it could, you know, we could improve business over there exponentially. You know, I mean, I could bring what the UST pays for that place a month. I could do that in a week. You know, I'm not looking to make money. I would call myself facilities manager. I don't want a salary, but I've got some backing. But again, you know, if UST is bringing in $200K, I want to see it. I want to see where that money's going. I'm serious. That's a lot of money, and things are a mess out there now. So,
Thank you. You said you pick up a lot of trash. What trash is that?
all around the fences.
Is that where the-
weeds growing into courts 9 and 10, weeds growing into clay courts, the torn canopies. Squeaky wheel just got the grease. I see there's a new canopy up there now, but
Yeah.
it's just often tattered over there. And you know, USTA has this beautiful facility in Lake Nona, and you know, yet they put their banner on this place. And that's what, you know, when you said they were concerned about the mold and all that. Well, you know, again, you know, I don't know what they pay John, but you know, we should have more teaching pros there, bring in more junior programs, bring in tournaments, and get pickleball going at night. It's going off everywhere. Sarno used to be dead. That place goes off now. Cape Canaveral, pickleball every day. I wouldn't want it interfering with my daily tennis. But there's just a lot of potential out there.
Right.
And I really don't want to deal with tennis players the rest of my life. But I just think we could do a lot more out there.
Right. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Good.
One thing I gotta say though is that when you have a private contractor, we cannot tell them what to do, what to put out there. That is their,
Right, basically, they've leased that from us, and they're using
that is
it.
their decision.
So
Yes.
that brings us to a situation that our city's attorneys had talked about with regard to leasing this property. Now, is that property associated, is that part of the lease? I looked on the lease, I asked for the lease in the golf task force, the lease for this property that Cocoa Beach paid, I think, $10 or $100 for that lease from the state.
Yeah.
And it lasts forever.
Yes.
The word forever is in there.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
But
I am
it's hard to tell where
The boundaries.
that boundaries are because of
Yes,
how they word
yes,
boundaries.
It's really
If they had an actual map of the actual location of that. So my question is are the tennis courts within that
I am
particular?
not sure. The way, like I said, I've read it too, and I can't figure it out myself.
So we need somebody that
Yeah, A lawyer,
yeah.
attorney,
But
Okay.
their lease is up in November, right?
end of November.
Well, the question is that we are not supposed to be able to lease anything out on that property.
Well, it depends if that is, if it's with this
That's what I'm
property.
saying.
If
Yes.
it's with this property, I'm not sure. But we have done it,
Which is an issue
yeah.
for that, as well as previously when we leased out the restaurant here
Yeah.
to Rusty Fisher, and in potential leases going forward. The next question I have is on that particular lease, that committee, that state board or committee or whatever it is it still even active? Does it still exist? And if it is, great, and we can at least go talk to them. But if it isn't, then what does that lease actually mean?
Yeah.
You know, is it actually a valid lease, or where is it gone to? So something that kind of needs to be looked into.
Yeah.
I mean, this is quite an amenity we have here, and we're not even sure.
Well, could the city attorney, couldn't she look into that?
That needs to be done, and I'll reach out to her, or maybe Laird, if you could.
Yeah, I can reach out. Yeah.
Make that happen. That'd be great.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, another one too.
I'd like to ask Laird,
Sure.
if where $200,000, where does that going to go? You said to me-
Wayne's going to talk about that next.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, Wayne, you have a presentation for us? Or a,
I'm just going to give you an update.
okay.
All right, so you want to stay on the tennis court? Or on it? The way we're approaching the tennis court is, there's two issues with the tennis court. USTA's lease is up in November. I've been instructed to bring that to the commission as a separate commission agenda item for the next commission meeting, to request from the commission itself a decision on, do we want to extend their agreement now? In their agreement now, they have a clause where we can extend it for 3 more years. Does the commission want to exercise that clause and extend it for 3 more years? That will be their decision. If they decide to or not to, irregardless, the following meeting, which would be the 15th of June, will bring to them the grant. We've been offered a $200,000 grant from U.S. Tennis Association to improve 6 courts in the front courts. Now, I'm not a tennis, I'm just kind of administering this all. Some of the stipulations in their grant, from what I've read so far, is they want improvements to the stormwater issues in the front of the facility, and so that'll be brought to the commission to see if they want to execute the grant. There's another caveat with the grant: the $200,000, upon our estimations, will not cover the total cost of that project. So we'd be into it, the city, for about $185,000. That might be a high number. So the total project cost on that's, you're talking, what, $385,000. It's, at this point in time, it's not in our capital improvement budget. So the commission would have to also give permission to get it into the budget as a capital improvement project and fund it.
So this is a stormwater issue, and so is that flooding? We have a flooding issue over there
Yes.
basically whenever it rains?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's been looked at internally by our engineering department, and they seem confident that that they can correct it in-house.
Okay.
I'll have that further looked at, but so that's where we stand with
Yeah,
that.
that
So
is-
it's going to come to the commission twice: once for the contract extension, and then again to address the grant.
And that's happening the first,
June 1st and June 15th.
okay.
Is there going to be a recommendation to the commission as far as what the staff thinks should happen?
I have not,
I don't read the.
it's their decision.
Yes, it's their
Don.
decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I just
You
wondered
know,
if this is
I
being
mean, we could
directed.
make all the recommendations till we're blue in the face, but it's their decision.
Okay.
Well, it is their decision, but it's something we, as a committee, try to monitor on a regular basis. It's bi-monthly at this point. But at
Well, I
least we
think-
talk
So-
about it, and they don't talk about it every week.
So I would
Or
suggest
every
going to the meeting and expressing your
Oh, yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was going
Yeah.
to suggest, that
So, they'll
Yeah.
take your public comment, get up and tell them what you think, so.
fortunately, that's all we can do with this particular committee.
Yep.
Well, a lot of times too, in a case like that, they will always ask, did we bring it to the leisure board first? They will always ask us that. So that's the reason why we're bringing it to you guys first. Yes.
So what's the option then of
So if we don't,
accepting their, 3 more years with them, or
so if they don't accept
put it out for
that,
bid?
we'll have to put it out on the street. We'll have to advertise it and get bids on it and go through that whole RF.
Yeah.
It would be an RFQ process, like we did before. And the last time we did that, I was involved in that.
Yeah, it was
and
2017.
It was competitive. There was a lot of people
Yes.
interested in it, so. But like I said, that's totally their
Okay.
call.
I must tell you that there is a lot of people that are quite happy with them. There's
Yeah.
a lot, yes. So I think pretty much that day there might be a lot of people here to talk about it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like I would suggest come to the meeting.
I'll be there.
Yeah, okay, I figured.
We have one court that floods. This is not, the whole entrance floods. The flooding is not a big problem over there. It's not. It shuts us down for maybe a half a day.
I'm not saying it is,
More than that.
that's one of the
No,
stipulations.
I
yeah.
get it. I just want to know the USDA's motivation. I know they make about $400 million a year, so I can see where they can throw us a coin. So.
That'd be nice. All right.
Okay, so I wanted to talk, I wasn't told to talk, but I wanted to talk about some of the improvements here. So we're going to start, the commission approved, I don't have those numbers in front of me. I think it was like $235,000, something like that,
Yeah.
in upgrades to this facility, including all new flooring, painting, correction of some flooding issues in the back on the decks and everything. So I have a meeting, I believe, next week with staff in here so we can minimize.
This week, Wednesday.
Is it this Wednesday?
Yeah, this
Okay,
Wednesday.
yeah. I never thought I'd get to the point in my life where I have to look at my calendar all the time, and I never wanted to live like that, but unfortunately I have to now. So, yeah, I'm gonna meet with everybody here so we can minimize the impact on the regular operations here, but, we're gonna be doing this very, hopefully very quickly, and I have all the contractors lined up, and, so we're gonna hit it hard, and we wanna try to get it done by Labor Day. That's the plan, so we'll see how that works out. But it's a good first step. And then the first phase was the structural stuff on the decks back there. The second phase is the flooring and the painting and some other upgrades inside here. And then the third step is furniture. And so we've got the first 2 phases funded through ARPA, so it's not our money, it's federal money paying for everything. The third phase, we're going to try to fund that a little bit differently with increased revenue from here, but we'll have to bring that back to the commission. But we got the okay to go ahead. We've got all our proposals executed and everything, so we're ready to go. So that's that one. And then what's the other one?
Bicentennial.
Bicentennial Park. So Bicentennial Park, good news is that we lobbied directly to the state for an appropriation for $1.25 million in appropriations for that project. That survived in the budget, so the governor had the right to line item veto it, and he didn't. So we're going to be getting that money.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's so
Finally.
right now.
How many years?
Yeah, and that's real good. And we got 2 other grant appropriations. Are actually grants or appropriations for City Hall. We got 1.5 for City Hall, and we got $1 million 5-year recurring. So it's $5 million for slip lining of the sewer project too.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so we made out pretty good. And,
Yeah.
that's all attributable to our city manager. She hired a lobbying firm, and we did well as a result of her. So Bicentennial Park, what we have to do, so as far as money goes, we've got to get that project to 40% before we can get a reasonable cost estimate. We're not quite at 40%. We're moving along, but what we have to do now is, and I probably brought this up last time, and it's just played out with FDOT, And we have to meet with them, and we have to show them, because they have final approval, because we don't own that property, they own it. We have a use maintenance agreement on the park itself. So we have to show them exactly where we're at now. And we had to get it to the point where we could do cross-sections so they can see how our park and the elevation of our park matches up with their road, and, you know, they're worried about all that kind of stuff. So I'm hearing that we're gonna be meeting with them very soon here. They're gonna be sending us dates where we can meet with them. It's kind of like meeting, you know, with the Pope. But, you know, it is what it is. So we've got, unfortunately, the agreement we signed is they have final say. But once we get to 40%, then we can get much more of a realistic estimate of what it's going to cost. There's some issues there that are engineering problems, but getting plumbing into the bathrooms, because I mean, there's been talk of nicks in the bathrooms. I don't want to hear that. A park like that, I would just assume and expect to have restrooms there.
Yeah.
So that's where, you know, I'm headed with that. So we have to unfortunately directionally drill under 520 and get the pipe, you know, down that way, and put a small lift station with a grinder. You know, it's all engineering stuff, but, you know, anything can be overcome. And we have some good site plans that we'll bring back to you. Did I show you guys those site plans? They're still in flux. We're going to run two. We have two preliminary site plans that we're going to show to FDOT first. One is preferable. One impacts the entrance, which we don't think they're going to go for. So the other one is kind of just, you know, rearranging the flow through there and keeping pretty much the same footprint, but elevating. Everything has to be elevated there. How we're going to elevate it, there's a couple, it'll probably be a combination of riprap along the river and then literally a seawall that we fill material into. So the project's moving along. I mean, once we get a good cost estimate too, what I'll do is I'll really start concentrating on other grant sources. So we got the 1.25. I know for a fact, Florida Inland Navigation District, who's financing the engineering work now to the tune of 200. Well, the engineering work is $250,000. I got a grant from them for 125. The other 125 is getting paid by ARPA too, so that's Fed money. So it's not costing the city anything for the design and permitting of this, but the actual construction, you know, we've got to get, you know, roughly about another $1.5 million or, you know, in that range. And so Find is a likely candidate. They will definitely kick in on this. So will St. Johns River Water Management District, and who else? ARPA, maybe we can get, if there's ARPA money left, yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. So we're just trying to minimize, you know, what we have to kick into it, and that's the best thing, use other people's money, so.
Awesome. Yeah, if you could send us a
Yeah, I'll just come back after I meet
email,
with them.
send us an email with that.
Yeah, you guys meet every month,
It's
right?
better for them to bring it back because it's pretty big. I think the drawings are big, I think.
Yeah, every other month? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll get you the information, yeah. It's all, you know, it's all public, anything that comes.
Yeah, if it's on the website, maybe just a link.
If I get an email, it's public record, you know. so,
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're not trying to hide anything. We're
No,
trying to keep-
no. This is a great story. I mean, it's really good what you've done, getting all the grants for this, where basically the city's not paying anything for it at this point. You know, down the road, we may have to throw something in, but the fact that you're getting these grants from the state and from Find and other agencies is fantastic.
Yeah, so I need that 40% design because we're gonna have to like pull out things and go to Find and say, the boat ramp and the finger piers are gonna cost X amount of money, and then will you be willing to kick into the restrooms so we can, you know, divvy up the money and they can see exactly what they're paying for. But I mean, I've done this many times before. I know exactly what they're looking for, so it's all good.
Can I ask you a question unrelated?
No,
Well, you're tough today, buddy. How long is the 100 block of Brevard going to be closed?
I think it was a month.
I think 4 or 5 days.
No,
Is that all?
It's that was longer than that.
Yeah, what they're doing is a road cut, and
Doing
they're gonna
the
bring the fiber optic. Yeah,
Fiber
they-
optic.
Okay, so
yeah.
it's not, this isn't gonna be a forever thing?
No.
It's fiber optic they're trying to run.
Ah, I
Yeah,
didn't-
so
I didn't
they've
realize that. I thought it was
been
part of it.
directionally drilling, and they're afraid to directionally drill across there, because there's so
Okay.
much running under the road, they're gonna hand dig it, so. They have to cut the road and then,
Yeah,
you know,
I didn't
I don't
realize
necessarily
it was
hand,
like
but they're gonna be very, very careful when
Well,
they
they
dig.
screwed up my
They'll find
fault.
something.
I've heard 100 times before.
I've seen that before where they hit a water line they didn't know was there.
Well, what happened
Maybe
there
go
on,
around.
on the other
Maybe go
part of
around.
it was, they ran across a line that they didn't know what it was, and they thought it was a reclaim line, a watering line, and it was the fiber optic line, so one of the workers just cut the line with a hacksaw in half and knocked all of our IT service down here out, so it was kind of like, you gotta be kidding me, but things happen, John.
All right,
Right.
thank you very much, sir.
All right,
Thank you,
so
Wayne.
can I leave?
You can leave.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. No, I'll come back and I'll come back every 2 months,
right.
whatever you guys want, you know.
Appreciate it.
I want
Thanks
you
a
to
lot.
keep, yeah.
Thanks a
I'm
lot.
excited about it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that park's been talked about for a long time.
Forever.
Yeah, so hopefully I can get
Yeah.
it done before I get out of here too.
Anytime you got good news, you can come
I
back.
mean, we were talking about that when Billius was here.
Yes, it's been a while.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
been a
I
while.
remember him saying it's $40,000 it would cost to put a pump station in there and bathrooms. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's been a
Billy
long
is
time
right.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, we can't
No, he'd
afford
go
that. We
down
can't
a load-
afford that.
he'd go down a load
We can't
and buy
afford
it
that
ourselves.
$40,000. Those are just plans. Not even plans.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Wayne. Wow.
All right, Larry, do you have anything else for us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have some, you have some stuff in front of you?
Oh,
We're starting to redo the signs on the golf course. Directional signs is what we're starting with first. So we we had some ideas of what we're trying to do out front. This is actually out front to kind of make people know exactly where the different courses are and what's in the building, what's outside. So I just want you all to see it, tell me what you think. If you think I'm going in the right direction, are you happy with this, you're not happy with this? Just give me ideas.
Well, I'll start it out. I think for what we have to offer with the golf course and everything in this area, they're a little bit amateurish. I think they border on cute, but they could be better. Plainer, better signs.
Okay. Anybody else?
saying like more professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a direction that we need to, it's kind of a big decision on what we want this place to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of what the task force might be part of, I don't know, there's, Amy's got a lot of,
But actually, yes, she has that.
she's got these different surveys going on, and that would help, I think, in that direction.
But that was in her survey to
Yeah.
upgrade signs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Yeah. So okay, well, it's a start. We'll go back to the drawing board and bring something else to you. We'll bring something else. You want to be
Go
more.
right out back by the starter shed,
Yeah.
so if you're a first timer and you don't know where you're going.
That's where this was going. This is not going on the course. This is going to be at the
Right
front.
up front.
Right. Yes.
This sort of reminds me of Wall, South Dakota.
Where?
Wall, South Dakota.
Never been there.
That's it's
Oh, it's good they have signs everywhere. Every 100 yards, they have a sign.
But we have nothing
Wall
out front
drug,
right
wall
now.
drug.
Right now, we have nothing out front telling you which course is which. So that's what this
Bathrooms,
is.
wall
Yeah.
drug.
Just coming up Minuteman.
This is
Yeah.
a drugstore.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, back to the drawing board. Good to know.
All right.
All right, we'll bring something else back. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do it, and we'll email it to you,
good idea.
and then email back to us what you think,
Good.
instead of waiting for the next.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
I like that.
I'll probably have to call you.
Other than that,
Can I make a comment
yes,
on
go
that
ahead.
quick?
Sorry, go ahead.
Just because, I'm not saying this design is exactly or anything, but for example, you go to the current parks and it's a 12 by 12 brown sign for the name of the park up on a piece of metal or whatever like that. I think moving in the direction of something a little more Cocoa Beach is the direction you want to go in. I do agree, maybe not this directly here, but and I would say that for all of the signage. And you go to other cities, you're seeing a lot of murals, and same with Cocoa Beach, right? It's all paintings and all that's now.
Beachy.
some of the infrastructure needs
Yeah.
to follow that.
Okay.
That's my opinion on that.
Yeah, one of the problems we have here, though, is our main road that goes through Cocoa Beach is a state highway.
Yes.
And you can't just put waste signs on that road.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about-
I know, but that's, we talked about this before also about having that type of signage, hey, to where hey, the golf course is this way. You know, the beach is that way. A lot of people don't know where the beach is. It's amazing.
But true.
They don't.
Amazing but true.
I can't tell you how many people that ask.
Yes.
Hey, can you tell me where the beach is? Like, oh, really?
Just look east, you'll see it. Other things, summer camp starts on
May 30th.
May 30th. So kids are out of school. Kids are out of school this week. So summer camp starts. So it's a busy time for the year for the rec department. Swimming is going to be very busy right now. Swim lessons are being packed to the max. They've had a couple of sessions already, and everyone has been sold out. So the summertime is going to be probably just as busy. And of course, you saw the repairs happening at the pool. The building has been painted, the bathrooms have been painted, the floors have been painted. They're getting a new slide. The next thing will be the deck, which is in the budget for next year. The deck will be painted next year. That's the next thing in the budget. Okay, I think that's all I've
Can I
got.
speak on that real quick?
Yes,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
That was one of the
Yeah.
things that I forgot was when I did talk to Kara over at the aquatic center. She was like, we're looking for lifeguards. Usually
Yes.
a bunch of kids
Good.
come
Thank
back
you.
during
Thank
the
you.
summer.
Yes.
But for some reason,
Yes.
like it's just, we don't have the influx
Yes.
of people or maybe they not applying.
I forgot
so
to mention that,
put
yes.
the word out for
And that, I mean,
send them over to lifeguards.
this has been the first. All the years I've been here, we are abundance of lifeguards. This year, I don't know what's going on. So what we have done, though, is we have sent out some, what do you call it? We sent out some notices with a bonus. We are actually advertising a bonus if we get some guards, if they work all summer. We're actually, so some kind of incentive, that's what we're trying now. That's how
good.
desperate we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to the school and see. if
Yeah,
we can
anything,
fit it.
please, yes, we're desperate. We are asked, I've
kids that-
never seen it
that
like
aren't
this.
featured in
I've
hospitals.
never seen it like this. And
Yeah.
we even can certify you. We can certify
You're
the
right.
guards. All they have to do is be able to swim. We
Do
can
you
certify
guys
you.
post that on the Leisure Services Board on
We're
Facebook?
everywhere. We're
Okay, 'cause
everywhere.
I didn't
Yes.
see
It
come
has
up.
been
It has
posted on
been,
Facebook,
okay,
and it's
yeah.
on the website as well.
It's on CB, it goes out on CBNN, it's on News and Views, it's everywhere, everywhere. Somehow we can't seem to get lifeguards this year.
Right, I would want to go back. Lucas, I didn't mean to cut you off about the wayward signs. I think what you were talking about probably is signs for our various parks and whatnot.
Parks and
Yeah,
just.
and I like that
road
idea
signs,
of having a consistency.
Yes.
And beautifying it and making it like, hey, this is actually a park.
Yeah,
You know?
correct. The first meeting that I was involved with was the 520 Bicentennial Park and maybe revamping the beautification of the Welcome to Cocoa Beach sign and all that. And if you build a theme off of that,
Right.
you know, that's where.
Just the
might
thing
get-
is, that's for the signs here too? For
Well,
this,
if you
for
just have
this
a big
too?
consistent,
Well, not necessarily
No,
for here,
no.
but for all the parks. So you have an
Okay.
entrance at both ends, the south end and the west end, really, and maybe the north end too. But the signs need to be consistent and hey, you're in Cocoa Beach now, you know.
Okay.